And then comes the key change. That is not belt. There's so much happening. Kia ora and welcome back. My name is Zoe Shtibi, your vocal coach for today. And in today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at Sohyang singing You Raise Me Up at Immortal Songs 2. Oh my goodness. I haven't seen this song, but I love her as a singer, so I can't wait. Let's get to the video. This song is, I love it. I absolutely love the song. At the beginning there, what artistry with that beautiful breathy thin fold sound there with a little bit of breath coming through. Now, when we use breath in the voice, it means that the vocal folds are slightly open at the back. So they open and close from the back. And when we just open them slightly to allow that kind of warmth to come into that voice, that little bit of breath, it allows us to then start the song very, very, very quietly to allow for that gradual rise and that gradual volume change through up. Now, I'm fairly certain that she's not going to really change the volume much at the level of the vocal folds. She's just probably going to close them going into the You Raise Me Up chorus, and then beyond, she'll thicken them up to create greater resistance to the breath to allow that increase in the volume as well. I could listen to Sohyang sing the telephone book if there were such things as telephone books still. Maybe there is. I don't have one though. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. When I am on your shoulders, you raise me up to more than I can. Oh, no, we're going to go back. There's so much happening. This always happens in her songs though. She's literally like this chameleon, and you just hear her sing like in one vocal quality at the beginning, and just like you just go on this roller coaster with her. Beautiful interpretation of the song. I've never heard it sung like this before. Oh, stunning, stunning. Bow down to her voice. But don't forget, it's still achievable though. Still achievable. I may say like complete respect to Sohyang, but you can learn to sing like this. She has dedicated a lot of her life to learning to sing, and she's a master because she practices. So, go away, pause the video, go practice. You also heard as well there were a couple of melismas and a couple of lovely runs up. Again, that scales, arpeggios, that's going back, that's going over all of your exercises. Go practice it. Go, sing anything, but really pay attention to what is your voice doing. You can improve your practice by really just making sure that you're focusing on one part of the voice. Don't quite go for something like this right at the beginning of your training. Pick something a little bit less advantageous. Start small and then work your way up as well. I feel like we've really got to go and listen to that again to like really get a feel for what on earth was going on, because like my mind is just blown. So we just have to stop there for that. Rise me up. That is not belt, okay? That's also not even really a mix. That's more of the head voice with no breath in it. So this is why I get a little bit confused when people talk about head voice, because head voice has two main qualities to it, okay? You can either have a breathy head voice where you go, rise me up, where you have quite a lot of breath in the sound, where the vocal folds are open when you're going further up the range. That's what happens in the natural untrained voice. And then what we work on in training is we go, rise me up, where the vocal folds are closed and there's no distinct sound of breath going up in the range. If you're someone that finds that when you kind of go up over your passaggio or your voice break, sort of around about the C5 mark, I would recommend that you check out this video here with my siren exercise. That's an excellent way for you to practice all the little connectors between, so that you can strengthen that head voice sound without breath, okay? When the vocal folds are closed, you have a greater resistance to the breath, which means that the sound pressure wave is larger, and therefore we hear it as being louder. Okay, but as you go further up in the range, if you go into falsetto, which means that the vocal folds are stiff, the arytenoids rock back, the vocal folds become stiff, and it creates that really rise me up. You can also create quite a lot of volume at that sound. So just be wary when you're practicing your head voice that you are training with and without breath as well, because otherwise you'll get kind of like stuck in one default. This is a journey. This is a journey. Thank you for joining me today, everyone, on this journey with Sohyang. I can't believe that I haven't heard this song before. Whew! I mean, I've heard the song, but I haven't heard her version of it. I'm trying to think of this one part of her technique that I can bang on about, but literally there were so many things going on. One thing that actually a couple of my colleagues and I have kind of recently been talking about is this idea of when you're listening to live performances like this, you'll notice that the singers are always moving the microphone back and forth. And that means that we kind of hear the sound quite steady in terms of the volume, but actually like real life, if that person was standing in front of you, you would expect huge changes in the volume. And when you're riding the microphone like that and going backwards and forwards, it's a great way for you to make it sort of all sound quite even. But then just remember, when you are singing the song live, and when she went up to that high note at the top there, you could really hear that the volume dropped out of it. So don't think about singing this type of song or anything where there's sort of like huge interval jumps. And don't think about it as being one volume in live performances. There's literally so much happening. And then comes the key change. Oh, I did see that the song was really long. Oh my God. So I'm getting like out of breath just listening to it. My vocal folds are like moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Did you know though that when you're listening to singers, your vocal folds are actually moving along with it? So that's one way if you are sick or you're unable to sing. One way that you can practice the songs that you're looking at singing is listening to your favorite artist or the version that you're learning at the time, or listening to the piano part and imagining yourself singing. That's also a way that you can learn your song and imprint it into your muscle memory so that when you're fit again and ready to sing, you'll be that much further ahead. So don't just think, oh, I'm sick. Definitely don't sing when you're sick, but you can still do a lot of listening exercises or choosing repertoire, listening to new performances. I don't know. There's loads of things you can do without singing and practice your singing at the same time, if that makes sense. Now, I know that Sohyang is she's a voice teacher. She knows what she's doing. When I'm talking about these technical points, this isn't like a cookie cutter one size fits all. There are singers that break the mold. There are singers that, do their own thing and they're absolutely fine. There are singers that, can rip their mouth open as wide as they want and they can hit absolutely any note. The points that I'm making are all about, okay, if you are learning to sing, this is the way we would go. And then when you get to a certain point, we kind of like let you fly, and then you can make decisions when you're singing the song. I wouldn't say for beginning singers that you need to open the mouth quite as wide as Sohyang is opening her mouth. For some people, and what it does physiologically is it pushes the tongue down. It also pushes and depresses the larynx, which makes it harder for you to reach those higher notes. Now, like I talked about over here in my Ariana Grande video with why does she reach up with her neck? That's a way that you can create space at the back of the mouth without widening the mouth so much. But look, it works for Sohyang. I'm not saying that she shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that if you're learning, don't think that that's kind of the default position that you need to have your mouth in, okay? My rule of thumb or rule of finger is always basically one finger in the mouth. And when you go up into that belty or mixed part of the range, you can allow the mouth to open a little bit wider. But you just want to make sure that when your fingers are on the jawbone, that you're not going any wider than when the jaw pops out. That's sort of like a kind of good way to tell, okay, yeah, about there. stunning. Absolutely stunning. I guarantee you that she's not going to be happy with that last note with a what, and she swooped up there, and it was that one note. She probably wanted to add a little bit more twang so it sounded more even, because when we add twang, we boost the volume of the sound. So when she popped out that little high note, I guarantee she probably wanted to add a little bit more twang. But like, honestly, like, who cares? Because that was beautiful. You know, a lot of this vocal technique stuff is like, it looks good on paper, but then in practice, like, you've got to do the scales and arpeggios and all that sort of stuff, so that when you go to sing the song, and when you've worked through all these technical points, you go and then sing the song, and then you put that layer of the acting. And that's what we in Estill voice training call the performance magic. So if any of this is like, what the fuck, Zoe, are you talking about? Check out the description below. I'm running a Estill voice introduction online course, which you can sign up for. And its spaces are really limited though, because I want to give you guys a chance to really go through all of the figures and everything. So we'll go over the vocal fold onsets, we'll go over the vocal fold positions, and how you can learn more about closing the vocal folds in order to go further up in the range to really strengthen that mix sound that Sohyang basically like lives in. I would pretty much with 99% certainty say that she did not belt a single note in this song. I didn't really hear that definite excitement of belt. I didn't hear the straight tone. My ears just didn't ring like a proper belt would. This is a very, very, very strong mix sound. So what is mix? Thicker vocal folds further up in the range, but we're gaining that tilt on the thyroid cartilage that we love in the head voice. So if you're looking to strengthen the mix, I would suggest really strengthening your head voice and strengthening the chest voice. So below the sort of like A5-ish for females and below, and then sort of above the C5 and up without air, and then look at kind of like blending them together. That's where I would really recommend though that you get a trainer just to get a bit of feedback about what you're doing, because I often see singers really try and push their way up into that head voice register, and it's really about just changing a couple of things. And you'll find it a lot easier to get up there, but it just takes time and perseverance. Honestly, I don't think I have time for a technique deep dive today. I think I went into like quite a lot of technical points as well in today's video about like what is she actually up to with her voice. Sohyang is a master. But thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure to have another look at Sohyang. Oh, she's amazing. And, you know, who would you like me to have a look at next? Let me know down in the comments. Leave me a link as well to our live performance, please, because I want to help you sing more like your favorite artist in the comfort of your own home. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button, because I bring out videos just like this one, reacting and analyzing to your favorite artists 3 times a week. I look forward to seeing you back here next time. Have an awesome rest of your day. Ka kite anō.